All right, welcome back. If you joined us last week, we were talking about the business model, and the week before we were talking about a business plan. If you recall, the business plan, I was asked, and I get asked even to this day, how important a business plan is. It's really important to actually go and set up for yourself a target. That's really the objective with the business plan. Figure out where you are today, where you want to be, and some mechanism to be able to go and plot yourself so that you can identify how you're going to get there. Is it going to be really, really fast? Is it going to be slow? Or is it going to be pretty steady? More often than not, it goes up and down. The week after, last week, I talked about business model. And the concept of a business model, again, it's a mental model about business. That's what a business model is. So in a lot of cases, it's important to chunk your business because our brain makes sense of the world through chunks. There's 3 chunks to a business model. I'm introducing to you, or I introduced to you last time. And steady. The steady, which is just the annuity. The variable part, which is the projects, it goes up and down. It mimics this notion right here. You can't afford to have too much fluctuation if, in fact, you don't have a steady part. So that's why we have steady and variable together, and you're always actually ensuring that you got something new coming into the hopper. The thing I want to add is the sequencing. If you recall, we have number 1, number 2, number 3. And very literally, I want you to consider your business having and needing these 3 things. The very first, most important thing is steady. When I look at businesses, most businesses out there that are small businesses have no steady. They have no foundation. This piece right here is often missing because in a small business, it's very, very difficult to identify who your clients are and make sure they're always buying from you in a very, very specific way. So the insurance industry continues to build its business because it gets one policy and another policy and another policy and another policy. If you're in the service business, you cut lawns or something, you've got 20 customers and every week you can count on them from a maintenance standpoint. But in a lot of cases, if you're selling services and products and clients don't need it all the time, it's difficult to get a steady part of your business. But you got to figure out a steady part of your business as an annuity. That's the most important thing. Even if you're not doing it yet, you got to actually plan to find that out. The second thing you want to concern yourself with is the variable, the projects. What projects can I actually, what projects am I likely to be successful with in developing new products, new services? So this is the part with the variable. If you're using a metaphor, you're throwing spaghetti against the wall and the variable part is what's sticking. The new over here, you've got a whack of spaghetti in your hand and you're not really even sure if it's worth throwing against the wall in a lot of cases because it's an idea that'll never fly, or maybe it will fly. And it's the movement. And again, when I talked about the sequence, there's step 1, 2, 3. When you're moving something from new, we got a handful of spaghetti, once you've got a business running, then you keep on throwing that into your variable. So you move from new back to variable. So you've got stuff, you've got some more projects, and eventually what you want to do is you want that variable to land down here as your annuity, as step number 5. And as a function of looking at this in terms of sequence steps, number 1's the first order of business. Then grow up this way. Back over here, and the full cycle of a mature business takes you through stages of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the important thing that I probably don't need to tell you, but I'll tell you within this context, but you've already experienced it in business. As soon as you get to the stage where you've got something steady, it will start to evaporate as a function of competition out there. So this line, as it's stated right here, is very difficult. If we can get 3D cameras with animation, it would make it much more fun to show this. But given I just got my finger in the line, this line will constantly go down over time. That's why you need to add variable. And even with variable, this whole thing moves down. If you don't have new filling it back up again, you don't have a business that's sustainable. So as a recap, we've got 5 stages for a very mature business. Concern yourself with getting the steady in place and the variable. Always have new stuff. Throw it against the wall. Try new things. Get it variable. And eventually get it steady. And this is the full cycle.